Hey guys, welcome to another day on the shop. Today we're going to be working on my new project, the Money Saver Expedition. So this is a 08 black limited, has everything you can possibly get for the Expeditions in 2008. It's got 20-inch wheels, has about 235,000 miles on it. I got it for not too much just because it has engine issues. And I'm going to hopefully try and fix those engine issues today. Fingers crossed. So this is my replacement for my white Expedition. My white Expedition has rust everywhere because it's from the north. And since it has so much rust, it's coming through the door panels, down here on the step. It's not sturdy or anything. Now this one wasn't cleaned before I got it, so it is quite nasty on the inside. And we'll fix that by doing a thorough detail and everything else. But we're going to hop into the engine compartment today, and we're going to work on dealing with this cam sensor problem. I'm hoping putting a new cam sensor, or a used cam sensor that I got from the junkyard, will work. And if it doesn't, I got two more to try, and possibly a fourth option, which is taking one out of my white Expedition and putting it in here to see if it will just work. So let's hop into this. Okay, so I have 3 cam sensors here. I just cleaned them all up because, like I said, they're from the junkyard. Took a little prying to get them off, so they don't look the best. Cam sensor for the 5.4 is right down here, right where my finger's at. So what it does is it tells the computer where the orientation of the cam is, and that creates either more fuel, more air, less air. So with that, it can make the car run really bad when a cam sensor goes bad, because on one side it might not be getting the fuel at the same time it needs to, so it's almost like a bad misfire. So replacing your cam sensor can sometimes fix an entire lot of issues that you have as of running too rich, too lean, or anything else. So hopefully, just looking at this, I can replace the cam sensor, and it's not like the wiring, but I'll check the wiring as I'm going through it. But it's a 1-bolt fix. So if I can do that, fix this issue, this thing should run properly, unless there's something more defined in this issue, which might be the wiring, might be the computer, something. So I'm going to replace this real quick, and we're going to see what happens. All right, took out this. I was told it was replaced, and it is a Ford Motor Company one, but sometimes, I don't know, these things can go bad. So replaced it with a used one. It's another Ford part. We're going to crank this thing up and pray that it fixed it. If it didn't, we're going to indulge in a little bit more diagnosis. So let's crank this thing up. All right, in this weird smelling car, plug in my computer so I can cancel out the other codes. Go ahead and turn the car on. We're gonna let this adapt to it. Turn the radio off. Alright, still linking. And there we go. It's got a P0349. So intermittent. Bank 2, so the bank 1 might be good. The bank 2 is the driver's side, so I might have to replace that one too. So let's go ahead and just replace that one, just to see if that's the issue. So before I do anything else, we're gonna go ahead and replace that one as well, and then that might solve all the issues if it was bank 2, because bank 1 is the driver or the passenger side, bank 2 is the passenger side. Pain in the butt though is bank 2's cam position sensor all the way down there, So I gotta take the air box mostly off. So let's do that. Alright, back in the car, hook the computer back up. I'm going to clear these codes and see if it'll pop back up. Alright, erase, erasing, erase was successful. Alright, let's turn the engine on. Still running pretty bad. I don't know what that noise was. Could be a timing issue. It's got to be a timing issue. Yep. I'll have to look this up further. But I'm not getting any codes yet. Let it run for a minute. Alright, bank 2 still is coming up. So let's change out bank 2 one more time to a new one. Alright, third time's the charm. I've already cleared the code so it doesn't have any codes. And once it comes up, we're going to try and start it one more time. There we go. Let's let it sit. And let's see. Should pop up with no codes. Alright. Yep, still there. Let's erase it one more time. Alright. Let's start it. Still running bad. Oop. Oop. Let it run for a little bit. Alright, so with replacing the bank 2 cam sensor, still running extremely rough. And it had some I guess metal sounds at one point. So my only thought pattern to it is the timing is off. If the timing is off, it's due to a phaser or a chain skipping or something like that. So it sounds like the joys of taking this front cover off is what's about to happen. So whenever I get this front cover off, I'm hoping to find the answer I need. So the timing chain might just need to be replaced with the phasers, and I'm hoping that's the only issue, but that's going to set me back a couple $100. Alright, so the bank 2 didn't work very well. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I've read that the alternator current wire can screw some stuff up. So this wire comes right here, it can screw some stuff up. I've also heard that the timing, if it skipped a tooth or one of the tone rings gets bent, it can be reading wrong. I even read that the crank position sensor could be reading wrong, which makes the cam sensor read wrong as well. So I'm going to unplug the alternator real quick, and we're going to start with that. This wire right here, we're just going to unplug it and let it sit as we crank it, and if it still happens, then the next thing is we'll undo the VCT and see if the timing's still in place. It's kind of windy out here. Alright, so I did test out taking the alternator off here, cranked it, didn't do anything. Stayed the same, gave me some more noises like timing chain. Next, I took the VCT solenoid and undid that. What that does is it shows that it can run as of a manual engine with no advancement to the valve train, so shows that it's in time and it doesn't have any oil going through it or anything else to change the valve timing, and that didn't change anything. So the next thing is I'm gonna have to do, which I don't want to, I'm gonna pop this cam cover off, and that cam cover should get me to the phasers and all that, and I'll have to look at the cam phasers. So that's the next thing I'm going to do before I get into anything else, to see if I can get this thing working right. So that's my next thing. I'm going to try that. Alright, so delving in further, we have that off. So I was looking at the teeth here, and the teeth look all good for the phaser. So the next thing is I just got to keep going through. I'm going to put this cam cover back on. I'm probably going to look at changing the crank angle sensor just to see if that helps. I'm going to do anything I can to get this engine to where it'll start back up. I mean, because I got to keep looking, because as you see I got wires just hanging. So with that, I'm wondering if there's just some wires tangled up somewhere that go to the cam position sensor, which is right here. So I don't know, it could be back here and then all unwoven back there and burned to pieces. I don't know. So yeah, we're gonna keep going into this. Worst case scenario, I pull the front cover off, which is the worst pain in the butt ever, and check the timing that way. But I'm not doing that today. It'll be another day, because I'll have to pull all that out of my way for easy access to make sure that I can do all that easily. So now, kind of stumped on the episode of get this car running while I can. So I'm running out of time today, so I'm going to pop all this back in, and then I'm probably going to do my detail of the car and everything else. But I want to get this thing running. It looks like the previous owner went quite a long time without doing oil changes. So that's another concern, because looking in there, it's just nothing but sludge and everything else. But the cam looks good, so no problem with the cam that I see. The only thing I could think of is that the cam position sensor is reading wrong because of either wires or the timing's off. If the timing's off, it jumped timing somewhere, and I'm praying that it didn't do that. So I want to do a compression test on it. It's one of the next things I want to do. So that would change a few things maybe, but mostly I think it's not running right due to cam positioning, or the sensor for it. I'll have to see if this is an interference motor. I don't think it is, but I'll have to see. So yeah, we'll get back to you. Alright, well, the diagnosis of what I want to look for on the Expedition so far is not what I'm finding out that I want. So we're going to delve into detailing. So all we're going to do is we're going to use a couple products. I'll put them in the bottom description, but it's just going to be cleaning supplies, really. Nothing major, nothing extravagant. And I'm going to use my handy dandy shop vac. So that's what we're going to get into. So now I will say there is nothing more satisfying than actually cleaning out a very dirty vehicle. This is semi-clean. Gonna vacuum it one more time in the back, and yeah, I got a couple other places I gotta deal with. Just noticed this, got a little rip right there, but that is don't know what the deal is with all that, but if need be, I got another seat I can swap this out with. It's in good condition. So the floor is looking better. These nasty half rug things are out, and we're slowly working our way to the front, because as you see, these nasty things, throw them out, and then what's under it? That's a lens to something. Little stickers. There's change everywhere. Change on there, nastiness everywhere else. So, I mean, it all just needs to be wiped down and cleaned out and sanitized, and ugh. So, getting there slowly. So, I'm going to continue this. So I found some Pez unopened. Found a lottery ticket, scratch off. I'll have to see if I won something. Then a whole bunch of change. So I'll get a free Coke. Yes. Alright, man. Took a lot. A lot. Oop. Let me grab the keys. I left lights on too. Alright, let's take a look at this thing. Alright, so it's clean now. I'll turn on some more lights because this thing, there we go. Everything's wiped down. Cup holders and stuff are missing because I'm going to do those. I need to redo a little bit right here because I can't see anymore, but I'll get my little scrubber out. Well, the doors are all good. Seats are all good. All conditioned. Everything in the back is better. I still got a little bit more vacuuming I can do. So, yeah, I'm loving it. It's awesome. Gotta shut this light off. Found out I have a rear view camera, which I didn't know I had in here. So, that works. But, yeah. So, it sucks I can't figure out the diagnosis of what's wrong with it right now. And I'm gonna try the crank angle sensor and see what that does. If that doesn't do anything, I gotta do some more research, which I'll do tomorrow. But I'm not completely sure what it could be, unless the timing jumped, and it's the only other option. My whole plan after I bought this was, actually I bought it with a bum engine for the fact of I rebuilt that other engine a year or two ago, and we only got 50,000 miles on it. So I was looking at pulling that motor and putting it in there. But if it's just a timing issue, I should be able to fix this engine and maybe hold that engine and flip-flop if I ever have an issue or blow it up or whatever. So yeah, but can't beat a $2,500 car. So other than a $200 purchase that I got and drove around a little bit. It mostly runs on oil rather than gas, but we'll see that in another video. So yeah, until next time, appreciate y'all watching. Any comments, questions, or anything else, put down below. Until next time.